That's Paul Forda, Casey Cummings, as we welcome you back to the Slow Blue Streaming Network. You guys have no idea. I can't even begin to explain to you what I have been through to get this stream up and running, but we got it back nonetheless. I'll explain myself a little bit here. There's been some heat issues here in Walnut Creek, California. Temperatures reaching up to 90 degrees, and when you combine that with your laptop running 7 different softwares all at once, gotten all your notes and everything, it's a recipe for disaster. So I figured things out. I got my fan over here. I got my laptop stand in front of me, and we should be good to go here on the Slow Blue Streaming Network, trying to give you the latest on this Blues game happening right now. And boy, has it been a doozy. Actually, very disappointed that I've been missing out on what has been the most electrifying game of the year so far for San Luis Obispo. A high-scoring affair. As you can see, it's currently 6-5 here, still in favor of San Luis Obispo. We are on the bottom of the 7th inning, though. Walnut Creek Crawdads are up, and they're threatening with runners on first and second after back-to-back walks from the new relief pitcher and Jake Sand, the left-hander from the University of Washington, as he's down in a 2-1 count to Cole Kosciuszko, who is 1 for 3 on the day. He hit a home run back in the 6th inning. That's his 4th home run of the season. It leads the CCL in league play. As he dodges out of that fastball, now 3 balls and 1 strike to the left-handed hitting first baseman committed to UC Santa Barbara, a former Vaquero from SBCC. As the catcher from Cal Berkeley, Nico Button, heads out to talk to his southpaw. I think now would be a good time to remind you that this game is brought to you by Studio Design Group Architects. You can find them at SDG Architects. Studio Design Group Architects. For 40 years, they have designed buildings with one thing in mind, and that's people. So 6-5 ball game. The Blues lead the Walnut Creek Crawdads. CCL action. First place in the CCL North on the line here as the Blues are in second and tied for first as Walnut Creek and Menlo Park, as there's 3 walks in a row now to Cole Kosciuszko. Bases now full for the cleanup batter, and Ethan Liao doing the designated hitting for the Crawdads. Liao, the DH, batting right-handed to the left-handed pitching Jack Sand. As Dean Traynor hobbles out to the mound, looks like there will be a pitching change here in the bottom of the 7th inning. A bases-loaded jam and a lot of work for whoever fills in the shoes of the UW Husky. So we'll go to a quick break here on the Slow Blue Streaming Network. Blues up 6-5, but the Crawdads threatening with the bases loaded. New pitcher in for from replacing Jack Sand. It's Noah Ferguson, the now Oregon State Beaver right-hander, formerly a Lute from Pacific Lutheran University, filling in the shoes of the UW Husky Jack Sand, who left for a bases-loaded situation with no one out here. And the San Luis Obispo Blues leading the Walnut Creek Crawdads by a single run in the bottom of the 7th inning. Welcome back to the Slow Blues Streaming Network. Apologies once again for the miscues with the live stream this afternoon. Been fighting the elements, one could say, here in Walnut Creek with 90-degree temperatures. My computer does not seem to agree with the software I'm running. And strike one to Ethan Liao is taken. 1 ball and 1 strike. So Liao is the right-handed cleanup hitter for Walnut Creek. And he's a Gardner-Webb Bulldog. After spending a season at Ohlone College, there's a big whiff of that off-speed. A slider from Noah Ferguson for strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Heading into this game, Ethan Liao is 18 of 49. That's good for a .367 average. 11 walks to his 7 strikeouts. I think that's the most impressive thing about these Crawdads hitters, is that ratio right there. From the stretch, here's Ferguson. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Ethan Liao goes down swinging. The first batter that Ferguson faces is a K. And there's 1 gone here in the 7th. Ethan Liao went fishing off that slider in the dirt. And so now it's Aiden Camberg, the left fielder, batting 5th, with 1 gone here in the 7th inning. Camberg, a UCSB Gaucho. He just spent his first season down in Isla Vista, where he didn't see any action with Santa Barbara. As Ferguson comes home from the stretch, delivers a fastball in the outside corner for strike 1. Camberg, a Scottsdale, Arizona native. I'm sure the heat this afternoon has been no issue for him. He does have an extra base hit. Had one in the 2nd inning, a double where he stole a bag and came around to score. Holds up his swing on the off speed, but he got the trigger from Camberg. 1 ball and 1 strike. Lots of drop-off on that breaking ball from Noah Ferguson, the curveball. Lots of vertical break started in the middle of the zone, completely broke out of it. And that's where we saw the trigger action from Aiden Camberg wanting to swing at it. Leaning over home plate, crouching in his left-handed stance, facing the right-handed pitcher Ferguson. He swings and misses at the fastball by him for strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1 out here with the bases loaded. The Blues lead the Crawdads 6-5. Ferguson, offset foot, comes set, now kicks and fires, and fouling it straight back into the wood backstop is Aiden Camberg, staying alive at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Camberg this season with the Crawdads is 7 of 19, good for a .368 batting average. 11 walks to his 6 strikeouts. He has 5 runs batted in. Wants to collect at least 2 here for his Dads to take the lead. Ferguson from the stretch again. Off speed on the outside corner, just missing away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Noah wanted that pitch really bad, and so did the catcher Nico Button. He worked hard to frame it as best as he could. He stuck it on the outer half of the zone, but couldn't get the call from the home plate umpire. So now it's an even count here to Aiden Camberg. Corners playing in for San Luis Obispo. Middle infield at double play depth. Here's the pitch, missing up and away. 3 balls and 2 strikes. This needs to be Ferguson's best pitch here to Aiden Camberg, who's 1 for 3 on the day. A fly out to center field, a strikeout swinging, and a double back in the 2nd inning. Deep side from Ferguson as he comes home, misses upstairs, and he walks in a run. It's now a tied ball game. Crawdads tie this one up off the 4th walk of this inning. This one issued, though, from Noah Ferguson. The run does not count against him. It counts to Jack Sand, who let Mark Wolbert on with that leadoff walk, who just came around to score. Now a tie ball game here at Monte Vista High School. So now with 1 gone here, bases still loaded. It's Isaiah Walker, the right fielder. Walker looks at the fastball outside. Button loses it for a sec, but keeps it within range. The runner at third base in Cummings holds up. Walker is 1 for 3 on the day. A base hit back in the second inning. An RBI single, that is. Came around to score, grounded out to third, and was retired on a fielder's choice in the 6th inning. Long pause from Ferguson as he shrugs his shoulders, now comes home. This one's popped up and out of play for strike one. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 gone here at Monte Vista High School. A tied ball game after the relief pitcher and Noah Ferguson just walked in a run to tie the score up. And that's 6 apiece. It's been an electrifying match. 17 hits between the two teams. We're not even through the 7th inning. This one's hit hard out to left center field. Going back is Hoyer. He looks up. It's off the wall. Coming in to score from third is Cummings. So is Kosciuszko. He gets in easily as the throw is over the head of Button, and the runners on base get an extra 90 feet. Crawdads take the lead 7-6 on the RBI single from Isaiah Walker, who now stands on second base on the errant throw from Medham, the cutoff man. And that just hurts. That just really hurts for Noah Ferguson. He caught way too much plate on that fastball, and Isaiah Walker made him pay. That's Walker's 10th and 11th run batted in this season. This senior entering his final year after spending 3 years with the Roadrunners at University of Texas, San Antonio. He plays the hero here as his team has now taken the lead off his 2 RBI single. So now runners at second and third. Just 1 out here in the inning. Noah Ferguson dealt a bad hand entering this game, having to work himself out of it. And you did all that you could do there by forcing the contact and letting your defense play. Unfortunately for Ferguson, that contact was just way too hard. As Cam Calvillo steps in, the third baseman for Walnut Creek, who is 1 for 3 on the day. A single stranded at third base, grounded to short, and a chopping ground ball to second base. He's here in a 1-1 count with 1 gone. His team now trails by 1, or leads 1, to the SLO Blues. 1-1's hit hard on the right side. It gets through for a base hit. Past the diving attempt from Comerford, a run comes in, and another one holds up at third base. That's Isaiah Walker. RBI single from Cam Calvillo. That's his 2nd hit of the day. So the Dads increase their lead. It's now 6-8 Walnut Creek. After letting up 3 goose eggs in the middle frame for San Luis Obispo. A 2 spot and now a 4 for now for Walnut Creek. Wheels slowly starting to fall off after Logan Groff was just great in his outing today. So back-to-back base knocks for Walnut Creek. They now lead the Blues by 2 runs. And as the throw to first is not in time, Tollerman had to extend for that one. Isaiah Walker at third, Cam Calvillo at first. Now it's Nick DeFazio as this pitch gets over the glove of Button, and there's an easy 90 feet and another run for Walnut Creek. Now 9-6 Dads. Cam Calvillo advances to second base off the wild pitch from Noah Ferguson, and what has just been a disaster class for the Blues this inning. Another runner in scoring position as Dean Traynor slowly heads out to the mound to talk to his Oregon State Beaver. The entire infield converges towards the rubber. Traynor trying to stop the bleeding as much as possible as Sammy Frederich gets warm in the bullpen. Nick DeFazio is the shortstop 8-hole hitter that Noah Ferguson's currently facing. He's 2 for 3 on the day. A single back in the 2nd, a double in the 6th, and a ground ball back to the pitcher in the 5th. So he's 2 for 3 with a stolen base. As Dean Traynor points to his pen, and Noah Ferguson's day is done. Frustrating outing, but it was tough from the start. He came into this game with the bases loaded situation and no one out, and he has surrendered 2 runs of his own in this frame. It's 6-10 Walnut Creek. We'll head to break as we introduce you. Sammy Frederich coming after it Blues trail on the Slow Blues streaming network. New pitcher for the Slow Blues, it's Sammy Friedrich. Noah Ferguson's day is done after facing just 4 batters. He just collected 1 out on a strikeout swinging from Ethan Liao after inheriting the bases loaded from Jack Sand. So now he has to face Nick DeFazio, who's 2 for 3 this afternoon, the shortstop batting 8th for the Crawdads. First pitch to DeFazio is taken for a ball. And so getting replaced in the middle of the AB was Noah Ferguson, who had already delivered a ball to DeFazio. So now it's a 2-0 count to the former Gonzaga Bulldog, who has since entered the transfer portal as he chops this one to third. Borba's got it. Long throw over to first. Scoop by Tallerman. He can't make it. Throw gets away, and getting the windmill at third base is Calvillo as he comes in standing to home. The throw goes to third, and getting there safely is Nick DeFazio off the error from Casey Borba. 11-6 game. Blues trailing a 6-run inning here in the 7th. And what has just been a nightmare frame for the Blues. Once again, if you're just now joining us, thank you for your patience. It's been quite a long afternoon dealing with the 90-degree heat, the overheating computer, the Wi-Fi situation, Uber Eats. Yeah, that's right. Uber Eats is somehow involved with this. But we got the stream up now. And blowing by the fastball for strike 1 to Nikhil Beasley is the new pitcher, Sammy Friedrich. So Beasley is doing the catching tonight. He's a Sac State Hornet and a native from Berkeley, California. He's a rising sophomore over there at Sacramento. And he's got a runner at third base with a 11-6 lead over San Luis Obispo. A 1-1 count here for the catcher. Still just 1 out here in the inning for Sammy Friedrich, who kicks and deals, and this one's hit hard into the right center gap. That's going to fall for a base hit. Coming in to score easily is DeFazio, who reached third on the error from Borba. All of a sudden, the Crawdads have doubled the run total of the Blues. A 12-6 game in favor of Walnut Creek. And the terrors continue for this Blues pitching staff, which had been cruising through the first 5 frames, just allowing 4 hits. Not a lot of Ks, but balls being put in play. That's a hats off situation to the starter and Logan Groff, who looked excellent today. Really fast-paced game, and it was looking like it was going to be ending soon. I thought I was running out of time to set up my broadcast equipment, but it has since come to a screeching halt after the past 2 innings, the 6th and the 7th, really the 7th. That has really just taxed this Blues bullpen. As the leadoff man, Mark Walbert, steps up for the 2nd time this inning. He led off this frame. It was a walk earlier this inning One of the 3 in a row issued from Jack Sand. He eventually came around to score, obviously. As Walbert spoils this one down the left field line and foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the UC Davis Aggie. Walbert, the leadoff man, entering his senior year up in Davis. And he's 7 of 21 entering this game, a .333 batting average. He's yet to get a hit today. 0 for 3 as he sends this one to right field. There's his first of the day. The line just keeps moving for Walnut Creek. As a 1-out base hit for Mark Walbert now puts runners on first and second. And it's just kind of one of those moments as a pitcher where you just feel stranded. Almost like you're drowning. Nothing you do seems to work. If you put it in the zone, they'll get it in for a base hit. And if you throw it out of the zone, they'll take it for a ball and they'll get a walk. They already have 4 this inning. The Walnut Creek Crawdads just making it incredibly difficult on the young pitcher in Sammy Frederich, the Scottsdale Community College relief man. From the stretch, this one's hit off the end of the bat to center field. E.J. Royal moves to his left, and he gets it with no problem. Finally, the second out of the inning for the Blues. So a minimal sigh of relief here for San Luis Obispo, but there's still work to be done. As the most dangerous batter in this lineup for the Blues, Cole Kosciuszko steps up. Now, Kosciuszko has been tamed for the most part, aside from the home run he hit in the 6th inning. That's his only hit of the day. Other than that, he's 1 for 3, a strikeout, a flyout to left field, and he was one of the walks issued from Sand earlier this inning as well. Kosciuszko is a UC Santa Barbara commit after spending 2 very impressive seasons at Santa Barbara Community College. He'll stay local after growing up in Castro Valley, California, entering his redshirt sophomore season with the Chos. Here's the 1-0 from Frederich down the middle of the plate for strike 1. Kosciuszko leads the team in essentially every statistical category. At bats, hits, doubles, triples, home runs, stolen bases, runs batted in, runs, and games played. He's done it all here for the Dads, and he wants to continue to do so with 2 outs here and 2 runners on. Hits this one in the air to center field. E.J. Royal moving back at it. He's at the wall, and it clanks off his glove. E.J. Royal can't catch the ball, and a run comes in to score for Walnut Creek. Throw back to first. It's not in time. E.J. Royal heard footsteps at the wall to equate it into football terms. And he just straight up botched the ball off the end of his outfielder's glove as he keels over in center, reflecting on the play that just happened. He tried to feel for it. Looks like there's a pretty small warning track out here at Monte Vista High School. As now Ethan Lau steps up for the 5th time today off the error from E.J. Royal in center. That's the second the Blues have this afternoon. And, you know, we talk about it all the time on the pregame show and even on the broadcast that the errors are just something that the Blues are going to have to figure out if they want to be competitive in the CCL North. This game has heavy implications for doing such a thing. And having plays like that is just not what's going to get it done for the Blues. As now up 2-0 in the count is Ethan Liao, who's looking for his first base knock of the day. The Gardner-Webb Bulldog stepping up for the 5th time this afternoon, facing Sammy Frederich, the Fighting Artichoke from Scottsdale Community College. That's right. Frederich from the stretch misses low. 3 straight balls to Liao. Runners on second and third. Wolbert's at third off the base hit. And Kosciuszko at second from the error by Royal. As moving out of the way of that fastball is Ethan Liao for ball 4. Bases loaded once again for the Crawdads. As we are almost halfway through this order again this inning. It has just been a continual battle here for the Blues in this frame. No balls and 2 strikes to Aiden Camberg, the left fielder, stepping up for his 5th time today. After Liao reached on a walk, and that filled the bases here for the Crawdads. Fastball missing outside from Frederich as the Blues bullpen is completely empty. And that's a conversation we've kind of had here in the booth of how many pitchers does San Luis Obispo have left? Just taking a look at the bus on the way to Walnut Creek. Not that many. So Dean Traynor is going to have to be awfully frugal with how he spends his bullpen in these next 2 games with the Walnut Creek Crawdads. But even at 2-2 in the count here is Camberg. As Frederich sends this one, and it's hit into center field for a base hit. Another hit for the Walnut Creek Crawdads comes in to score 2 runs. And the flooding continues for the Dads as it's now 16-6 Walnut Creek. Absolute inflation of an inning for Walnut Creek. And what was initially sent out to be a Blues W, that's the vibe it was given off. A quick-moving, fast-paced game with hard-hit balls all over the yard has suddenly turned into a boat race, with the Crawdads being the winners. This one's hit hard in the center field. E.J. Royal coming on it, and he'll make the grab. He finally stops the bleeding, but the damage most certainly has been done. A 9-run inning for the Walnut Creek Crawdads. SLO now trails 14-6. We'll go to the top of the 8th inning. Blues trail. I'm Nate Mills on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. Thank you for tuning in to the Slow Blues Streaming Network. When we left off, we just ended the 7th inning in what was a nightmare situation for the Blues. A 9 spot to lose their 6-5 lead. It has since turned on its head to a 15-6 ball game. Now a 9-run deficit for San Luis Obispo. It's taken a little while between innings here to switch things up as the home plate umpire took a baseball to the head earlier in this ball game. And he has since felt symptoms of dizziness, lightheadedness, nausea. So he has exited the game, and now the first base umpire in this ball game is heading into the parking lot, changing into the home plate gear. So now we're experiencing an injury delay here at Monte Vista High School. So for the time being, we're going to step aside this whole time, and we appreciate your patience here. I know it's been a long day on the Slow Blues Streaming Network. The stream malfunctioning, and then now an injury timeout. So we appreciate your patience. Stay with us. A 15-6 ball game in favor of the Crawdads. I am Nate Mills on the Slow Blues Streaming Network. staying tuned with us on the Slow Blue Streaming Network. We're now back live in the top of the 8th inning. It's Brendan Comerford leading things off for the Blues. After him, it's Braden Mondew, then Bryson Hoyer due up for the Blues. Looking to cut into this insane deficit that the Blues racked up this past inning. A 10 spot back in the 7th. It's now a 15-6 ball game in favor of the Crawdads. Comerford holds up his swing on the fastball, lone away, 2 balls and 1 strike to the Ohlone College Renegade. And he gets hit in the back for the 2nd time today. Brendan Comerford entered this ball game without a hit by pitch, or with 1 hit by pitch. He's racked up 2 more. He ties the lead for first. And now he's at first base, a leadoff base runner for the Blues. Hey, just get something going for the Blues. What was initially a contested matchup between the Crawdads and the Blues has since turned into a blowout, as the ball almost gets away from Kosciuszko. A pick to first. It's now Braden Mondew. Runner on first, no one out. Mondew out to an RBI single back in the 2nd. Digs in now. He moves his arms over that fastball inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Mondew entering this game, 13 hits in his 45 at-bats. That's good for a .288 average as he squibs this one down the third baseline foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. And he was white hot to begin the season. It was the Mondew and Royal show. He has since cooled off. But in that time, he strung together 13 hits, 3 of them for extra bases, all of them doubles. Also put together 10 runs batted in before this game. Hot shot over to short, on the short hop to Fazio, second for 1, on to first for 2, and a 6-4-3 double play for the Hawaii Hilo Vulcan. All of a sudden, there's 2 outs here in the 8th inning. .643 double play, 2 gone now for the switch-hitting left fielder Bryson Hoyer. He bats left-handed against the right-hander for Walnut Creek. On the mound for the Dads, it's Daniel Valechko. Came into relief this inning, and he gets the ground ball from Mondew. As Hoyer hits this one hard into right field, he drops his bat. Wolbert looks up, and it's off the wall. Extra bases for Bryson Hoyer as he heads into second base. Stand-up double. The Saddleback Bobcat with some loud contact to keep things alive here with 2 outs. That's Hoyer's 2nd hit of the day, 2nd extra base hit. Now runner in scoring position, 2 gone now for Jared Medham. Medham is 2 for 3 on the day, a single, a double, and a strikeout in the 6th inning. Medham entering this lineup after a brief hiatus, taking a few games off after starting the 2nd day he was in San Luis Obispo. The lineup just a short drive away from his college at St. Mary's, where he was the WCC freshman all-first team, as this one skips away from Beasley. Advancing to third with ease is Bryson Hoyer. Another run just 90 feet away for San Luis Obispo. And certainly they got their work cut out for them. A 9-run deficit. Going to take more than Bryson Hoyer to make a significant jump in this game. As Jared Medham awaits the 2-0 offering from Valechko. Here it comes, right down the middle, and just missing outside, actually. 3 balls and no strikes. Thought for sure that was a perfectly placed fastball down the heart of the plate. But Medham gets a call, and it's a 3-0 count. Another fastball. This time it's in there for a strike, 3-1 to the St. Mary's Gale. Medham entering his junior season at St. Mary's after growing up in Half Moon Bay, California. And he almost gets hit by that fastball inside, and he's awarded first base on the 2-out walk. Back-to-back base runners for the Blues. They're now at the corner here for the leadoff man, E.J. Royal. Royal exhibiting some power in this game. It's nice to see that come around to the majority singles hitter, I'd say, for the Blues. He's certainly had nice production. I think those slugging numbers we've been waiting to see come around for a while. Although he has strung together 5 doubles. Not hard hit, a lot of flares down the lines and left and right. Still dropping nonetheless. In the books, it's 112 miles an hour. He's here with a 1-1 count, with his first home run of the season back in the 4th inning, and a single in the 6th. Taken off for second is Medham. Defensive indifference there, as the Gales now at second base. Runners now at second and third for E.J. Royal. Royal looks at that fastball. Inner half of the zone, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Utah Tech Trailblazer, who entered this game with a team-leading .409 average in his 61 at-bats. 17 runs batted in. That average and those RBIs lead the team. Bounced in front of home plate, rolling down the third baseline foul. We'll do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 15-6, Walnut Creek. Runners at second and third. E.J. Royal up with 2 gone in a 2-2 count. Top of the 8th. This one's hit hard into center field. That's going to fall for a base hit. Third knock of the day for E.J. Royal as 1 run comes in, and the throw home to get Medham is not in time. 2 RBI single for the Trailblazer. And some more loud contact coming off the leadoff man. Some healthy signs coming from his barrel, as it's a 15-8 ball game. And really, if you were to see batting practice the way it was going today, a lot of loud contact coming from the hitters on the Blues roster. E.J. Royal was particularly a hitter that caught my eye. He's a guy that tries to spray it on the right side, tries to have quote-unquote boring BP, to steal that from Albert Pujols. But now he's letting it fly, hitting balls straight up the middle, at high exit velocities, living in the 90s there. As Jariah Lewis is down 0-1, and he chops this one down the first baseline foul. No balls and 2 strikes to the San Jose State outfielder. Jariah Lewis entered this game with a even .200 batting average. He has 8 hits in his 40 at-bats. He's driven in 5 runs before this ball game. And he hits this hard on the ground on the right side. Tough hop for Walker at second. He bobbles it, throw to first to get him in time to retire Jariah Lewis, and he doesn't agree. Frankly, I don't either, but the side is retired either way. The Blues have an answer, a 2 RBI single from E.J. Royal. They cut into this massive deficit. It's now 15-8 Walnut Creek. Stay with us in the bottom of the 8th inning. I'm Nate Mills on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. Bottom of the 8th inning, and the Crawdads are back up after a 10 spot back in the 7th inning. They completely turned this game on its head. They entered that frame trailing by 1 to the Blues in a 6-5 ball game. They since turned it around with their 10 runs. They're now up 15-8. The Blues did have an answer with a 2 RBI single from E.J. Royal, as Sammy Frederich throws behind the leadoff man and Isaiah Walker for ball 1. Walker last inning had a 2 RBI single, part of that 10-run disaster class. He had an RBI single back in the 2nd inning as well, as that second pitch in there is taken for a ball to Isaiah Walker, the former University of Texas San Antonio Roadrunner. Spent his whole college career there out in San Antonio, and he made the decision fairly recently on June 21st, just 4 days ago, to enlist his name in the transfer portal. Now he's looking for a new place to call home as he looks at that fastball for strike 1. Now 3 balls and 1 strike to the former Roadrunner looking for a new home, native of Manville, Texas, who entering this game was 14 of 57 for a 246 average. Chops this one on the ground, left side. Nice play, Borba. Long throw to first in time for the first out of the inning. Casey Borba had a tough hop on that ground ball, took a weird part of some dirt, skipped right into his chest. He was able to snag it, make the throw over to Tollerman, and that's the first out of the inning. So Sammy Frederich gets the leadoff man. Now it's Cam Calvillo, the third baseman, batting 7th tonight for Walnut Creek. He's 2 for 4 this evening. 2 singles in the 6th and 7th, grounded to short and grounded out to second base. And he takes a look at the first pitch for a ball. Calvillo, a tenured Crawdad. He played for the Dads last summer. He returns for his 2nd season, where he is currently 2nd in the CCL for league walks at 14 entering this game. Of course, that leads his team as well. As that off speed misses inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Played his first 2 seasons of college baseball at Ohlone College, just up the street here from Monte Vista High School. In 2 seasons with the Renegades, he had a 344 average, as he swings and misses for strike 2, 2 balls and 2 strikes. A 344 average with 2 home runs, 11 doubles, and 3 triples for the Renegades. Good enough to earn him a spot with the Bulldogs at Gonzaga. So he redshirted his last season there in Spokane. As he gets hit in the back, you could hear the sound of the plastic oven mitt as the ball ricocheted into the Crawdads bullpen, or the Crawdads dugout. And now a 1-out base runner here in Cam Calvillo, who was just hit by pitch. That's the 4th time he's been dosed up this season. Now 2nd on the team in hit by pitches with number 4 right there against Sammy Frederich. So now a runner on first, 1 gone here for Nick DeFazio, shortstop tonight for Walnut Creek. His lengthy frame stands upright in the right-handed batter's box as he takes ball 1 lone away from Sammy Frederich on the first offering. DeFazio, a UOP Tiger and a native from Oakland, California. Fastball outside of the zone, 1 ball and 1 strike now. Evens it up to the Tiger. This season, he's seen minimal action with the Crawdads. Just 5 at-bats entering this game. Only played in 1 game. Had 2 hits, a strikeout, and 1 stolen base. Another fastball from Frederich in there for strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Runner on first. Blues trail 15-8 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 1-2 count to DeFazio, who rests his bat on his right shoulder, now lifts it up and doesn't move it anymore as that fastball misses outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. DeFazio entering his redshirt sophomore season after he hit .210 in his first year with the Tigers in 21 starts. Nubs this one up the middle and it lands for a base hit. Back-to-back base runners for the Crawdads, and it comes off the soft contact from Nico DeFazio. That's his 3rd hit tonight. Runners now at first and second for Walnut Creek. Still 1 gone here for the 9-hole hitter, Nikhil Beasley. Beasley is 2 for 4 this evening. 2 singles, one of them drove in a run. He scored a run himself in the 7th inning. Also flew out to center and struck out swinging. First pitch fouled straight back into the screen. No balls and 1 strike. Still just 1 out here in the inning. And it looks like we'll actually see a pinch hitter here for Nikhil Beasley. And excuse me, another correction. This is actually the leadoff man, Mark Wolbert, the UC Davis Aggie, batting in the left-handed batter's box. He's entering his senior season at Davis. For now with the Dads, he's got runners on first and second. Keeps his hands close to his body. And on the 1-1 offering from Frederich, he hits it in the air on the left side. Hoyer running back to his left. He senses the wall. It one-hops the wall. Getting the wave at third base is Calvillo. He'll come in to score, no problem. And there's an RBI double from the UC Davis Aggie. Second hit of the day for Wolbert. And now it's a 16-8 lead for Walnut Creek. Still just 1 down here in the 8th inning. Blues just drowning in runs from Walnut Creek as Casey Cummings, who's starting to hit his stride after skating a couple of games, steps in now. Cummings, a Texas from the University, a Texas Longhorn, and a Danville native. After spending his first 2 years of college at Chabot College, down in San Diego with the Toreros at USD. Fastball missing outside from Frederich, 1 ball and 1 strike. Still just 1 gone here, runners at second and third for Walnut Creek. They now have a 16-8 lead over San Luis Obispo. Slow roller to short, met him on the backhand, throws it hard over to first and moves Tollerman off the bag. Another run comes in for the Crawdads. (17-8) ball game with combined 28 hits between these teams. Not even through the 8th inning yet. So Cole Kosciuszko, who homered this game, that's the only hit he has tonight, steps up and fouls this one straight back for strike 1. Runners at first and second for Walnut Creek. And what is now a 17-8 game. Kosciuszko committed to UC Santa Barbara after spending his first 2 seasons of college ball down there at SB, except at SBCC, Santa Barbara Community College with the Vaqueros. In his time as community college, freshman and sophomore season, batted a career .304 with an on-base of .426, slugged .423 as well. Currently leads the CCL in homers with 4. And he hits this one hard the opposite way. Hoyer moves back on it. He's at the wall. There's home run number 5 for Cole Kosciuszko. 3-run shot in a massacre. (20-8) ball game in favor of the Crawdads. And the Blues just want to wake up from this nightmare. The pitching just getting absolutely terrorized by the Crawdads. After a solid outing from Logan Groff in a fast-paced game, absolute blowout for Walnut Creek. Second home run of the day for Cole Kosciuszko. And now it's Ethan Liao, the designated hitter, batting 4th. Liao fouls this one right at home plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. Still just 1 out here in this inning. Liao heading to this game was 18 of 49 with a .367 batting average for the Crawdads. The Gardner-Webb Bulldog entering his junior year, chops this one on the ground left side. Medham gets it on the hop, throw over to first in time for the second out of the inning. Some support from the defense finally as Jared Midham gets the candy hop and relays it over to Tollerman. Now 2 gone here in the 8th inning for Aiden Camberg. Another Gaucho in tonight's lineup who didn't play his first season down in Isla Vista. He's entering his sophomore year at Santa Barbara after growing up in Scottsdale, Arizona. He pokes at that fastball up and away, fouls it into the shrubbery down the left field line. No balls and 1 strike. 2 gone now. 20-8 ball game in favor of Walnut Creek. And what has really been 2 completely different games from the first 5 innings to now. Takes a look at strike 2, no balls and 2 strikes to Camberg. The outfield catcher hybrid, batting .368 before this game. Crouches over home plate, and he looks at that fastball just missing the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Frederich with a deep sigh as he adjusts his flat brim cap. He comes through on the windup, and this one's hit hard into the left center gap. Royal, who was shaded to his right, can't get there, and it 1 hops the wall. Extra bases here for Aiden Camberg as he stands into second base with a double. That's his second 2-bagger of the day. Just a hit parade here for the Crawdads, as the Blues have no choice but to leave Frederich out there in a game of this margin and the pitching depth that they have. Runner at second now for the Walnut Creek Crawdads, a 20-8 advantage for the Dads. They have 19 hits to the Blues 11. 2 outs though, and Frederich is a pitch closer to getting out of this inning. Strike 1 taken from Isaiah Walker. There's 2 for 5 on the day, 2 base hits, 3 runs batted in, a grounder to third, fielder's choice, and another grounder to third base. Walker, uncomfortable swing as he gets buckled on that breaking ball. No balls and 2 strikes. Walker currently in the transfer portal after spending his first 3 years of college in San Antonio with UTSA and the Roadrunners. Another off speed that hits him on the kneecap. Walnut Creek Crawdads stay alive after Isaiah Walker gets pelted in the patella off the fastball from Sammy Frederich. Runners at first and second, and it's Cam Calvillo, the former Gonzaga Bulldog who has since entered the transfer portal. Had a blast at Ohlone his first 2 years with the Renegades. 24 walks to his 12 strikeouts. 53 hits, brought across 35 runs and 154 career at-bats with the Renegades. And Calvillo takes a look at strike 1, 1 ball and 1 strike to the former Bulldog. And a tidbit that I saw on Cam Calvillo, he hates sunflower seeds. That's just despicable. Hit hard on the ground left side. Borba's got it, and he'll tap third base for the 3rd out of the inning. Crawdads leave him stranded, but simply it does not matter. A 6-run spot here in the 8th inning. It's now 20-8 Walnut Creek. Blues got their work cut out for them in their last chance in the top of the 9th inning. I'm Nate Mills on the SLO Blues streaming network. New noodle to clear things out here in the top of the 9th inning. Blues trailing big, and I mean big, to the Walnut Creek Crawdads. A 20-8 rout in favor of the Dads. And if you are just now tuning in with us, we had some live stream technical difficulties, so we missed a majority of the action of this game. Very contested matchup between the Blues and the Dads in this CCL play. As Borba chops this one on the ground, left side, easy play over to first in time to retire him. 1 pitch, 1 out for the new noodle for the Walnut Creek Crawdads and Cal Johnson, the Puget Sound logger. So Casey Borba is retired, but this game has been incredibly back and forth. It ended up being a 6-5 contest entering the bottom frame of the 7th. And what had been flying by, the game had only taken an hour and a half to get to that point. Came to a screeching halt after 9 runs were put up. Nico Button hits on the ground to left side to Calvillo, goes over to first. 2 pitches, 2 outs for Cal Johnson. Last guy up now, it's Zach Tollerman. He had a single back in the 2nd. He also walked in the 3rd and struck out swinging in the 7th. So a 9 spot in the 7th, and then a 6 spot last inning for Walnut Creek. Pretty difficult to come back from that. Casey Cummings had 2 home runs on the day. He now leads the CCL with 6. Tollerman has to duck out of that fastball. He continues to sit in the sunken right-handed batter's box as he slowly rolls up, dusts off his pants, and tries to reset, getting back in there after getting dosed in the cranium from that fastball. More on Cal Johnson. He's a Puget Sound logger, and his past season up in Washington, he had a 6.52 ERA, 8 appearances, and 3 games started. As Tollerman hits that one hard down the left field line, but it will be foul. 1 ball and 1 strike to the first baseman, formerly from UC Riverside. Currently entering his name in the transfer portal. He's entering his redshirt senior season. 2 seasons at Cuesto, where he was a 2-time All-American, or All-State, excuse me. Wide stance filling out the entirety of the right-handed batter's box, and he ducks out of another fastball. 2 balls and 1 strike. More on Cal Johnson. 7 earned runs his past season at Puget Sound. 8 strikeouts to his 9 walks. A .395 batting average against. This one's hit into left field, and that will be an easy play for DeFazio to put it away, and that ends the ball game. So the Blues go down in a big way to Walnut Creek. A 20-8 deficit, and really you can just take a look at the pitching. I mean, that is what the cause of this loss has been for San Luis Obispo. They certainly put the hits together. They put together the runs needed to win this ball game. I mean, 8 should be enough to suffice, for a W for San Luis Obispo. As we welcome you back into the broadcasting booth. You know, the Blues put up 11 hits. That should be enough to win most ball games, but really it's the pitching that has just continued to just tumble heading into the halfway mark of the season. The Blues were leading the CCL in a majority of pitching categories, including WHIP and ERA, heading into this past week. But within these past 3 games against the Sunrays, and now here against the Crawdads, it just kind of started to begin to fold over itself. So that's going to have to be one of the biggest keys, especially going into tomorrow's game against Walnut Creek, Game 2 against the Dads, Game 2 of 4 of the entire season. And I think it's going to be difficult then to overcome that as well, because the Blues are also severely lacking pitching depth. We've seen a lot of pitchers depart, and there's a surplus of bats out there in the Blues lineup, but it's really the pitching that's going to have to fill in. Now, another thing the Blues have to work on as well is those 3 errors. That just simply can't happen in the games. I know it's no 9 spot like we saw the other day with the San Diego Sunrays, but 3 still isn't going to get you very far. Innings where you could have gotten out of, an error happens, an errant throw happens, a botch ball trying to move too quickly, transitioning the ball from your hand. Those are mistakes that the Blues have to figure out. And those are going to be easier fixes than the relief pitching situation. That's going to have to be up with Dean Trainer, Rene Regalado, and Max Lober to try to figure out the chess match of who they want to go where and what situation. But until then, the Blues really have to straighten it out on defense and throw more strikes as a pitching staff and make that defense work, and there just has to be a bigger trust there. So that's all on today's coverage of Slow Blues Baseball. Thank you, everyone, for being so patient with the live stream. It was a chaotic afternoon, a 90-degree day here at Walnut Creek. The computer overheating, the camera not working, the Wi-Fi giving out. It's been a long afternoon, but I'm glad I was able to eventually come on the stream and finish out this ball game, even though it was ended up being a blowout in favor of Walnut Creek. Very happy to do it. Always here to do it for you guys on the Slow Blue Streaming Network. We will be back tomorrow, though, at 4 p.m., and I pray that I can get that stream going at first pitch at 4 here at Monte Vista High School Field. This has been the 21st game of the Slow Blue season. Thank you all for tuning in once again. I'm Nate Mills on the Slow Blue Streaming Network. Have a good one.